Trying to frustrate Clark. Oh, but Clark with 3 more. Right over the rookie.
Clark's serious injury. Caitlin Clark picks up eye injury in embarrassing first playoff half. The first playoff game featuring Caitlin Clark quickly turned into a frustrating spectacle, not just for fans but also for players and commentators alike. From the opening tip-off, the game was marred by questionable officiating that overshadowed the talent on the court. Players were left feeling as though they were being physically abused without recourse, all while the referees seemed to miss critical calls. The game took a disastrous turn for Clark when she suffered an eye injury just moments into play. It was a stark reminder of how quickly things can change in sports. As Clark was going for a layup, she was inadvertently poked in the eye by D. Carrington, resulting in an immediate and visible swelling. The injury not only affected her ability to contribute, but also highlighted the broader issues of player safety and officiating standards in the WNBA. Fans and analysts were outraged as they witnessed Clark struggling to regain her composure while also trying to play through the pain. She was clearly affected, missing shots she would typically make with ease. It was as if she was a shadow of her usual self, standing in the corner rather than driving the lane or creating plays. A player of her caliber should be the focal point of the offense, but instead, she seemed relegated to a spectator role, unable to see clearly or effectively engage in the game. The officiating was under intense scrutiny as well. Many viewers were left questioning how fouls were being called, or in many cases, not called. For instance, Alyssa Thomas appeared to be fouled on several occasions, yet the referees remained silent. Meanwhile, the Fever faced a plethora of phantom fouls that seemed to swing the momentum in Connecticut's favor. The inconsistency left fans bewildered, and it felt as though the game was being played under a set of rules that only the referees understood. As the first half progressed, frustration mounted. The Fever had fast breaks halted due to scoring malfunctions at the score table, while Connecticut's players seemed to receive preferential treatment from officials. This lack of fluidity in the game made it increasingly difficult for the Fever to find their rhythm. With multiple calls going against them, they found themselves unable to capitalize on opportunities, which only added salt to the wound. Clark's injury was a significant loss for the Fever, yet it was compounded by the overall poor officiating. How can a team compete when their star player is sidelined by injury and the rules seem to change with each possession? It's a question that loomed large in the minds of fans and players alike. As the clock wound down in the half, it became clear that the Fever were not just battling their opponents but also the officials. Clark's condition had deteriorated, and her performance was visibly impacted. The game, which should have been an exhilarating showcase of talent and athleticism, devolved into a frustrating series of missed opportunities and bad calls. In summary, Caitlin Clark's eye injury and the accompanying refereeing issues turned an anticipated playoff matchup into an embarrassing display of basketball. The combination of poor officiating and player safety concerns overshadowed the skill of the athletes involved, leaving fans yearning for a better standard of play. The hope is that as the playoffs continue, the focus can shift back to the game itself, allowing talents like Clark to shine without the shadow of injury or referee bias looming overhead.